he was caught on stream running from the cops.
Wait, for real? When the did he did that? When streamers break the law for views.
For the last few years, streamers have taken over the world.
Dude, I'm watching the stream. Why are you trying not to laugh, bro?
And in the constant pursuit of making the best possible content, sometimes streamers go too far.
When the fuck did Lacey do this?
Today, I will be talking about 4 streamers who got banned, canceled, and even arrested, all because they went too far trying to get views.
I'm assuming this list has to have at least a kick streamer, a IRL streamer, anything like that.
First streamer is Stable Ronaldo. Ron is one of the
Ronaldo.
biggest streaming names to come out of the game Fortnite. And ever since switching over to IRL content and joining FaZe, he has seemed unstoppable. His streams get insane amounts of views, and he's making some pretty crazy and entertaining content. If you've been following Ron for a while, you would also know that he loves cars and making content about them. He even has a full second channel talking about his cars called The Stable. And this channel doesn't just highlight some normal cars that you or me might drive, it shows off some of the most expensive cars in the world.
You know, the video he did with Clicks was insane, I'm not gonna
These
lie.
cars are not just designed to look good, but also to be able to go incredibly fast. So sometimes you want to go and show off the speed of your cars and drive a little bit above the speed limit, or in the case of Ronaldo, a lot. And since Ron does a lot of IRL streaming,
Yeah, what the fuck, bro? If I'm in a nice ass Porsche, bro, I am, especially a GT3 RS, bro, I am not doing the limit, bro. That's all I'm saying. GTA 5 RP. But listen, the Stable has to be one of his best side hustles, bro. Like him, like collabing with like other streamers that also have nice cars, bro. That's W content right there.
sometimes he chooses to drive above the speed limit while also streaming on Twitch. One of these times was on June 25th of 2024, where Ron live streamed himself.
June 25th?
One of these times was on June 25th.
Wouldn't that be July 25th? Okay.
5th of 2024, where Ron live streamed himself driving recklessly through LA traffic. This is obviously incredibly
LA
dangerous,
traffic like
and if
this?
anything went wrong, he could have put a lot of lives at risk, including his own. And because of this, Twitch decided to ban him. Eventually, Ron was unbanned and went back to streaming like normal until he was caught on stream running from the cops.
Wait, for real? When the fuck did he do
Okay,
this?
I might have
I've never heard of
exaggerated,
this.
but although it's clear here that he's not in an active police chase, you'd think that him having a cop right behind him might be a deterrent from driving this speed, especially since last time he did this live on stream, he got banned. And although Stable Ronaldo has gotten unbanned and has seemed to improve his behavior a little bit when it comes to driving on stream, the next person we're going to talk
I guess that is breaking the law. I thought we was gonna get something crazy though. That looks like Jack Doherty though, so we already know this shit about to be crazy.
about is way more reckless on the road and even almost died in a car accident live on stream. Jack Doherty started making videos back in September of 2016 when he was just 12 years old. His channel grew quickly, and by January of 2018, he had already hit 1 million subscribers.
That was good shit, bro. I remember when I was in middle school, I used to watch. No, I think I was in elementary actually. I was in elementary school and I used to watch Jack Doherty do those bottle flips and like the trampoline flips. Bro, I deadass had my mom buy me a trampoline just so I could try out them flips, bro. Now, was I Jack Doherty? Nah, but I mean, I was having fun, bro. It's sad to see like what growing up does to you. Cause like when I used to watch him when I was a kid, he used to just be doing flips. And now, bro's doing that OF content.
He started off by making silly little challenges and prank videos, but as he got older, his content got slowly crazier. And that might be a little bit of an understatement, because this guy has genuinely become the most hated content creator perhaps of all time, and for good reason. He takes clip farming to another level. It's more than just fake drama or embarrassing himself in public, it's borderline harassment. And although he has done a ton of bad things, I'll save most of it for another video, because there's something specifically he did did on stream that I want to
Oh, that's
talk
such
about. On
dickhead.
October 5th of 2024, Jack was doing an IRL live stream on Kick.
Look at that. Look at that fog. We're going in here.
This is some shit that I still don't understand why he did it, bro. You're in a McLaren, gang. You're in a sports car. Why the fuck are you doing this in the rain, bro?
Oh my gosh, I can't see anything. It's terrifying.
It was a
if you're
rainy
driving
fall day,
rear-wheel
and
drive
Jack
or
was
all-wheel drive,
absolutely
bro, this shit is
booking
not
it down the
safe, let
highway
alone any
in his
car.
very expensive and even faster McLaren.
You can't see I'm most likely going to crash this car. No, I'm kidding. Hopefully not. And the airbag I don't even think works. I'm cooked.
Also, this is besides the point, but can we take a moment to look at the absolute horrifyingly ugly rap?
Bro spoke this shit into existence. I was gonna get to this. That rap was ugly as fuck, bro. For a McLaren, you have McLaren money, gang. And out of all raps, you chose this shitty ass rap. I don't know. Is he still a kids YouTuber? I don't watch him anymore, at least. But if he's nah, he does OF, bro. No way he's a kid. Nah, but see the kid YouTubers, bro, they be trying to sneak that shit in. Regardless, whatever content you make, this is an ass rap, bro. If you got all that money, bro, come on, man.
Rap he has on this car. What is that? Who
That shit look like a Windows 10 background, like one of the default backgrounds on a Windows 10 wallpaper, bro.
goes into a dealership or a detailer and asks for that? It kind of feels disrespectful to the car, but whatever. Let's get back to the point. Jack was speeding down the left lane, passing car after car, all while looking down at his phone to read chat. That alone is incredibly dangerous regardless of what speed you're going, and Jack was moving very,
He made
very
his money
fast.
back for sure,
Because
though.
of the multiple stupid decisions
Like, I
being
seen
made
he-
in this
he was
clip,
milking
things
that
started
shit,
to
bro.
go wrong. Jack would lose control of the car and send it spinning into the railing of the highway.
I feel bad for the friend though that was recording.
Whoa! Whoa!
No!
Bystanders had to come and save him from the car,
ain't funny,
and they even
bro.
had to break the window to
Luckily, they're
carry
safe.
him out.
Help! 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 Break the fucking window! Oh! Oh! Help! Oh, can you hold it?
Bro, why are you still filming? That's the shit I don't understand. Like, bro is dead ass like, yo, help. Yo, help. Help chat. Yo, for each sub, somebody call the cops. Like, bro, what are you doing? Come on, man.
No, my fucking car, bro.
Still holding on to the camera. Like, come on, man. Not everything is a clip.
Jack gets out of the car and immediately continues
And the shit's totaled, bro, because for motherfuckers that don't, never mind.
filming, and that's when he pans to his cameraman Michael, whose face looks basically drenched in blood, and asks Michael to hold the phone and keep filming.
Are you okay? Holy f***ing Michael, here. Michael, do you have film on that phone too?
The two went to the hospital after, and Michael, the cameraman, ended up needing stitches in his head.
He's getting stitches right now. But
Obviously, the whole
That shit
situation caused a
sucks.
lot of controversy, with Jack driving way too fast, reading his chat while driving, and putting so many
Yeah, he
people
was
in
going
danger.
like
It's no
70,
doubt why
80 in the
people
rain, bro.
hated
That's
this.
crazy.
However, that wasn't even the worst of all of it. In fact, the people on the internet were most angry at Jack for asking his cameraman to continue recording after he got injured. And I think this backlash was definitely
What the fuck does Corinna even do? Bro, to this day, I don't know what she does, bro.
justified. He basically seemed like he
I think she
cared
just
more
meat
about
ride
his
other
car
content
than
creators
his
like
actual
Decline,
friend
bro.
and employee. However, getting public backlash was not something that was new to Jack at this point, and what really mattered in this situation was that this stupidity finally got him banned from Kick. Unfortunately, however, Kick would be stupid enough to unban him just a few months later. However, he
Yes.
was quickly banned again, this time for stream sniping somebody IRL, which we're not even gonna get into today. Because we need to talk about the next
fuck
person
did
on
that
this list
happen?
who literally got kidnapped trying to make.
Before we get into that, I'm curious. I am curious. Alright, so McLaren, I know the engine is in the back. So say you literally the whole front bumper just gets mushed in. Actually, fuck that. The whole front end of the car gets mushed in, bro. Isn't the car technically savable? I don't know though. You know, that's why I don't have one, because I don't know.
Content, and his name is Arab. Arab, as many of you may
Oh,
know, was
deadass?
once a professional Fortnite
Oh,
player
I
and
remember
coach,
this.
but now he's been doing traveling content where he
Yeah.
goes to some of the most dangerous
this
places in
shit
the
on
world
Twitter,
and
bro.
gives us all an
this
inside
was
look.
real?
He first got into IRL content and streaming back in 2021 after he quit Fortnite, and little did he know
Wasn't
this
it, like,
decision would change his
some
life
Haitian
forever.
motherfucker
He
or
started
something
off
like that?
making relatively basic IRL content, like tasting fast food items
We're back for the full Chick-fil-A menu challenge.
and going to Vegas buffets.
You got the wallet? You ready for this? Yo, tell me that is sick. So that way now, when I get kidnapped, people are 100% sure that it's my money.
Now you're gonna get checked at TSA for sure.
Yeah.
But as time went on, his streams stopped being a slice of life
the
content,
fuck?
and instead he started to go way outside of his comfort zone and the comfort zones of pretty much all people. One of his first controversial trips was when he went to Turkey to look at illegal replicas of luxury items.
So we're at the Grand Bazaar today in Istanbul, Turkey, where they
Hey,
basically
wildin',
have really good fakes of different designer brands.
Live
We're behind the scenes
streaming,
today with a friend that I met yesterday
rep
that I actually
shopping,
bought
gotta
this
be
watch
illegal,
off
bro.
of. Super high quality. First quality is what they call it here in Turkey. And I like befriended him and he's gonna show us behind the scenes all their shops. They got like shops for everything. Like even the
Can't they
Yeezys
get
I was buying
rated for
yesterday,
that?
you can't tell the difference.
Once he realized that these videos were doing way better and he really started to enjoy
Oh,
them,
he
he
kept
decided to
milking it.
stop streaming on Twitch and
Oh,
focus
fuck.
much more on the YouTube videos. This allowed him to go to even more dangerous places and to censor his content enough to make sure that he doesn't get banned from literally every social media platform. All of this led up to March 2024, where Arab decided to travel to Haiti. This was shortly after
Yeah, see, I knew this, bro. Yeah, some Haitian. Yeah, I knew it, bro.
a do not travel notice was posted
seen
by
this
the
shit on
United
Twitter.
States government for all Americans trying to go to Haiti. The reason for the no travel notice was because of different crimes, including robbery, carjackings, kidnappings, and so much more. Obviously, when there's a do not travel notice, most people decide to do exactly that and not travel there. However, Arab, being the content machine and daredevil that he is, thinks a little bit differently. In fact, I would probably say that this do not travel notice probably wanted to make him travel more than ever. After arriving, Arab sent this video to one of his editors.
So we actually cannot leave to Port-au-Prince until the morning because it's already 6 p.m.
That shit
and if we
beautiful
leave
as
right
hell,
now,
though.
we'll get there while it's dark. It's about a 6-hour road trip. We'll get there while it's dark, and that place is completely run by gangs. So you don't want to be dealing with the gangs, even though we have safe passage. We're already approved. All it takes is one stupid gang member holding a 47 for one thing to go wrong. So
We didn't know it at the time, but that would be the last video that Arab would send his editors for a while, because later that day, on March 14th, he would be taken hostage
Wait, so the thing is, was he by himself?
after being kidnapped by a dangerous Haitian gang.
Tonight, a Metro Atlanta man allegedly kidnapped by a dangerous gang in Haiti. The U.S. government now involved in this volatile situation, but the next steps are still uncertain.
And of course, Arab, being, himself, decided to secretly vlog the kidnapping process.
I've currently been kidnapped for 11 days after being smuggled into Haiti by Jungle in order to interview Haiti's most powerful warlord, Barbecue. I was ambushed by the 400 Mawozo gang, driven into the desert of Croix-de-Bouquet, Haiti, and trapped.
Bro, and see that, bro, my friend sent me this shit, bro. This is why I didn't know this shit was real, cause like, bro, if I'm being kidnapped, bro, the last thing I'm doing is like trying to vlog some shit, bro. Like, I'm gonna be scared for my life, bro.
In this exact cage, inside a barbed wired prison. This is the bucket I've been showering in for the last 2 weeks. My toilet might as well be a hole, and I'm being fed cornmeal and beans.
Oh, hell
The
no,
kidnappers
bro.
have just taken $38,000 of ransom money and are pretending they didn't.
Do you think we're gonna launch or we're gonna try to take your money?
Thank God, Arab was eventually released on March 30th, 16 days after his kidnapping, and seemed to be largely unharmed. And if you thought Arab getting
Bro, can they
kidnapped
not
was
be
bad,
arrested for
our
taking
last
ransom
streamer
money, though? Like, give
accidentally
me my
got
35
over
bands back.
65 people arrested in New York City. Kai Cenat, who is the biggest streamer in the entire world, had a mishap that took place just a couple years ago. For those of you that don't know, Kai started making videos all the way back in 2015 on Facebook, of all places.
Kai, shut the up, you nigga. You gets no every time you go to school. Everyone look at your feet and say, what are those?
But eventually, he would move to YouTube.
I know a lot of y'all been asking, Kai, where's the YouTube channel? Why don't you have a YouTube channel?
Bro, every time I see this video, bro, like, has he disclaimed this yet already? Bro, are those messages real? I think Bro, you know, I ain't gonna say.
You need to start getting paid for what you're doing. Kai, where's your YouTube channel? I got one thing to say. Welcome to my YouTube channel!
And then, of course, as probably all of you know, Kai absolutely exploded once he started streaming on Twitch. But his popularity came with some unexpected results, because on August 4th of 2023, Kai Cenat was supposed to have a New York City event where he was meeting up with fans and giving away a bunch of PS5s. And although on the surface this seems like just a cool, kind thing to do, he decided to hold this event in Union Square without bothering to get a permit or warn anybody that all of his fans would be showing up there. Kai, not realizing how big his platform had actually gotten, decided to post a bunch of advertisements on his social media promoting the giveaway, thinking that just a few people, or maybe just a couple hundred, would show up to meet him. However, that could not have been farther from the truth. Thousands, and
they
possibly
blocking
even
traffic,
tens
bro.
of thousands of people showed up to New York City, and more specifically, all collected in Union Square to meet Kai Cenat. For those of you that aren't from New York, Union Square isn't that big. It's just a small patch of grass in a very big city, and it certainly is not prepared for thousands of rabid fans. Despite the huge crowd, Kai still intended on doing his giveaway.
I don't really think that's Kai's fault though. Maybe he did not know how big his fan base like. Because the thing is, like, people could watch your videos all day, but that doesn't mean people would like come and meet you in real life. Like, I've seen so many meet and greets. People could have like hundreds of thousands, millions of followers. They do a meet and greet. Not all of those hundreds of thousands, of million people are gonna pull up. You know what I'm saying?
Welcome to New York, bro. I'm telling you, it's a lot of y'all out there right now. Everybody who's out there, make sure y'all safe. Appreciate everybody who popped out for y'all, bro. We gonna make sure it's safe. Bro, we're not gonna do nothing until it's safe. Yeah, we gotta make sure it's safe. Everybody's good.
After him and his team thought it was safe, they got out of the car, and things did not exactly go to plan, because Kai got absolutely mobbed as soon as he got out of the car. Things got so bad that the police showed up, and Kai had to be dragged out of the crowd of fans by the NYPD. However, just because Kai was back in the car didn't mean he had fully escaped. The van had to flee Union Square with a bunch of fans clinging to the side of the car.
Dead ass. Oh my fucking god, what are they doing? Yo, why are they on the car? What the fuck? Bro, people don't got brains, bro. What the
To
fuck?
let these people off the car.
Why are they on the car, bro? What the hell?
Oh, and then someone fell off. Okay.
Luckily for Kai, he was able to escape without getting seriously injured.
Bro, if I was him,
Unfortunately,
I'd never
however,
do a meet
other
again.
people weren't so lucky. Back at Union Square, a riot broke out once the crowd realized that nobody was getting any PlayStations.
It's mayhem.
Did that motherfucker just throw a crutch at him? Maybe.
You mentioned, Natalie, them throwing items off of food trucks and so forth. So
they climbed to the tops of the subway station structures.
Bro, yo,
up
New York
statues,
is crazy as fuck,
traffic
bro.
and lampposts, jumped on the
You
tops
would never
of cars.
catch me in shitty,
A
bro.
construction site in the park was
Like
damaged,
IRL,
and
like
people
IRL,
weaponized
bro.
items from that site like paint cans, bottles, axes, and shovels.
What the fuck? This shit is a war ground,
lighting
bro.
fireworks and flash
Kai Cenat ain't mean to do this, bro. I know he didn't expect this shit to happen.
Walking against traffic, like raging.
Why stay when things turned chaotic?
I just feel like it was fun. Like, for me, it's New York. It was literally YouTubers that came out to show love, and then it just got hectic.
Some businesses locked their doors as
I
the
would
rest
too,
ran through.
motherfucker. They rioting this shit, bro. They gonna try to break in your shit and fuck your shit up. Hell no, bro.
This 69-year-old man who operates a sidewalk food stand was injured. Items
No,
stolen.
And perhaps
bro,
the
not
worst
the
part of
old
all of
man.
this is that because Kai didn't file a permit with the city to do this giveaway or meetup, the police were not prepared at all to handle a crowd of this size. The NYPD reportedly deployed
God damn, bro. That is thousands of people, bro.
over 1,000 extra officers in the area to make sure that nobody else
Yeah, they probably had to call the whole fucking. They probably had to call people out of district, bro. What the fuck? How the fuck y'all gonna handle these people?
showed up and to control the crowd.
We are looking at live images here. A lot of high-ranking members of the brass there on the scene now, trying to move this crowd along. Once again, at Union Square, the police department estimating at least a couple thousand people now, and we remind you that subways are bypassing the Union Square stations right now as they try to get a handle on this. Jonathan Deans.
Luckily, a couple hours later, by around 5 p.m., the cops were able to get the crowd to die down, but tons of damage had already been done.
It took hours to get the crowd out of the park and hours to clean up the mess. Trash, paint, a torn apart construction site, all evidence of a gathering gone wrong.
All in all, 65 people were arrested, 30 of which were minors, and on top of that, 7 people were injured. One of them was a 17-year-old who had a very gruesome injury from fireworks that people were setting off. On top of all of that, Kai would be taken into police custody and charged with inciting a riot. However, he was released on bail the next day.
Bro, he ain't even mean for that shit to happen, though. Now, obviously, technically that shit is his fault because I guess apparently he had the, I guess, like, fucking, whatever the dude said, bro. He didn't fucking, I guess, like, bro, I'm not saying, like, you renting the place out like Disneyland, but I mean, I guess you gotta have, like, some kind of, like, fucking, like, okay from the city. Like, you know what I'm saying? Bro, he just a streamer, though. That motherfucker ain't know that shit.
Kai, what happened to the PlayStations, guys? What happened?
Kai would later go on stream talking about the giveaway and say he was very disappointed in the people who got violent.
I'm beyond disappointed in the things that went on Friday. And I want people to know that none of that was my intention. You feel what I'm saying? None of that. I had good intentions for this whole thing. And none of that was my intentions, bro. Not only that, but I don't condone any of the things that went on that day. None of that is cool. I'm seeing random videos of people getting sturdy on people's cars. And I'm asking myself while I'm watching the video, why? Like, why?
So I think it's safe to say that Kai is not going to be planning any events like this in the future, and if he does, he'll be getting the correct permits. That wraps up our list of times that streamers went way too far for views.
That is insane work, bro. Let me know. That is the end of the video. Let me know. What was the craziest celebrity, streamer, whatever? What was the craziest streamer on this list? Me personally, I don't know. It's probably Casanats or either A-Rap, bro, because that is insane to get kidnapped. But I don't know if it's still real, though. I know I seen the video now, and I got all my context, but I still don't know if it was real, though. I just don't believe that shit happens in real life. But, I mean, obviously it does. I don't know, though. Like, shit. I just don't know. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace out, man.